Today's topic is larynx. Larynx, it is present at the crossroads of the ear and the food passages. It is the upper expanded part of the lower respiratory tract, which is modified for producing the voice. That is why it is also known as the voice box. The main action of the larynx is the protection. The protection of the trachea and the protection of the bronchial tree. So, it acts as a sphincter at the inlet of the lower respiratory tract to protect these structures from entry of any material other than air. This is the principal function of the larynx. Now the extension. This larynx extends from the upper border of the epiglottis. This is the epiglottis. In this diagram, this is the epiglottis. So, the larynx extends from the upper border of the epiglottis to the lower border of this cricoid cartilage. Below this, it is continuous with the trachea. Or, we can say, this larynx extends from the laryngeal inlet to the lower border of the cricoid cartilage, from where it is continuous as the trachea. Remember the class of the pharynx. This larynx lies in front of the laryngopharynx, and there is an oblique opening that is known as the laryngeal inlet. Laryngeal inlet. Through this opening, this larynx communicates with the laryngopharynx. So, this larynx lies in front of the laryngopharynx part of the pharynx. In adult, this larynx lies in front of the 3rd to 6th cervical vertebra, while in case of the infant and the children, it lies in front of the 1st to 4th cervical vertebra. Now the dimensions are measurement of the larynx. As we discussed earlier, the larynx lies in front of the 3rd, 4th and the 5th, 6th cervical vertebra, but in case of the female, it is slightly higher position. If we compare the measurement, first the length. The length of the larynx in the male is about 44 millimeter, while in case of the female, it is 36 millimeter. Now the transverse diameter. This is the transverse section and this is the coronal section. So this transverse diameter in the male, it is about 43 millimeter, while in case of the female, this transverse diameter is 41 millimeter. Means larynx is larger in size in male compared to the female. Now the anteroposterior diameter. This anteroposterior diameter in the male, it is the 36 millimeter, while in the female, it is the 26 millimeter. Now the important point, before puberty, the size of the larynx is more or less equal in both. In both means male and the female. Before the puberty, the size of the larynx is more or less equal. But At the time of the puberty, the size of the larynx increase rapidly in the male, while in case of the female, it does not alter more compared to the children. Means, in the female, the size slightly change compared to the children. It is almost equal, and as a result of which, the voice in case of the female and the children is the high pitched, while in case of the male, the pubertal growth of thyroid angle pubertal growth of the thyroid angle is prominent, and as a result of which the voice is low pitched and deep in case of the male. Now the skeletal framework of the larynx. In this diagram, this is the anterior view, posterior view and the lateral view. In this diagram, this is the skeletal framework as well as membranes and the ligaments of the larynx. The larynx consists of a series of cartilages. These cartilages are connected with each other by some synovial joints, by these fibroelastic membranes and the ligaments, and some series of muscles produce movement on this cartilage. This larynx consists of 9 cartilages, total 9 cartilages, out of which 3 are unpaired and 3 are paired. Now the unpaired cartilage, this is the ETC, epiglottis, thyroid and the cricoid cartilage. In this diagram, this is the thyroid cartilage, this is the epiglottis, and this is the cricoid cartilage. This is the cricoid. C for the cricoid cartilage. So these are the 3 unpaired cartilages. While the paired cartilage, this is the ACC. A for the arytenoid. This is the arytenoid cartilage. They are present in the pair. Then it is the corniculate. Above the arytenoid, this is the corniculate cartilage. And then it is the cuneiform. Above the corniculate, this is the cuneiform. This is the cuneiform and this is the corniculate. So, these are the 3 unpaired and the 3 paired cartilages. Now, if you see the histologically, these cartilages are categorized into the 2 groups. It is the hyaline cartilage and it is the elastic cartilage. The hyaline cartilage ossify after the age. Generally after 25 years of the age, the hyaline cartilage group of the cartilage ossify, change into the bone. While the elastic cartilage, these elastic cartilages do not ossify. So, if you categorize these 9 cartilages into these 2 groups, hyaline and the elastic, it is the thyroid cartilage. It is the hyaline cartilage. Then it is the cricoid cartilage. It is present in the hyaline cartilage group and part of the arytenoid cartilage, that is the basal part. This is the basal part that is rests on this cricoid cartilage. It is the part categorized into the hyaline cartilage, while the remaining cartilage are the elastic cartilage. These elastic cartilage do not ossify after the age. It is epiglottis. E for the epiglottis. It is the elastic cartilage. Then corniculate, cuneiform, and remaining part except the basal part means it is the process of the elymoid cartilage. Process means the extension. These are the elastic cartilage. So these 9 cartilages are categorized into the hyaline and elastic cartilage. These cartilage ossify after the age, while these cartilage do not ossify after the age.